Part 2. 20 minutes after I blocked Annie, my doorbell didn't ring. My phone did, not from Annie, but from the manager of the Gilded Lily, the nightclub where she was currently being held. Mr. Foster, the manager's voice was strained. Your wife, or ex-wife, I suppose, is causing a massive scene. She ran up a $500,000 tab, buying Cristal for every table in the VIP section. When her card declined, she tried to pay with a scratch-off ticket. She's claiming it's worth $100 million. I leaned back against the hospital wall, watching the in-use light above the ICU doors. And what did you tell her, Marcus? I told her I can't pay my staff in potential winnings. She's hysterical, sir. Her mother is currently screaming about suing us, and the man she's with, Dylan, tried to sneak out the back. My security caught him. Should I call the police, or are you coming down to settle this? I let out a low, cold breath. Call the police, Marcus. Those were supplementary cards on my business account. I've reported them as unauthorized usage. As for the bill, that's her problem. We're legally separated as of 4 hours ago. Understood, Mr. Foster. Sorry to bother you. The line went dead. I felt a grim sense of satisfaction. Annie had always been a social climber, but her greed had finally made her blind. She didn't even stop to think why a company would hand out $100 million tickets to every employee at a Christmas party. Just then, the ICU doors opened. The doctor walked out, looking exhausted. She's stable, Liam, but it was a close call. The stress, the physical trauma of being pushed. It triggered a severe hypertensive crisis. She'll need months of recovery. Can I see her? I asked, my voice cracking. Briefly. She's asking for Annie. I walked into the room. My mom looked so small in that bed, hooked up to a dozen machines. When she saw me, her eyes searched behind me. Where is she? Is she okay? The baby? I grabbed her hand, my heart breaking for the woman who had nurtured a viper in her bosom. Don't worry about her, Mom. She's exactly where she deserves to be. The next morning, the National Lottery Commission office hadn't even opened yet, when Annie, Brenda, and a very nervous-looking Dylan were already waiting at the front doors. I knew this because I was sitting in my car across the street, sipping a black coffee. Annie looked like a wreck. Her hair was a mess. Her makeup was smeared from crying at the club all night, but she was still clutching that ticket like it was a holy relic. Dylan looked like he wanted to be anywhere else. I knew Dylan. He stayed as long as there was a profit. Now that the police had been involved at the club, he was looking for an exit strategy. I saw them walk in as the doors opened. 5 minutes later, the screaming started. I didn't even need to be inside to hear Brenda's shrill voice. I stepped out of the car and walked into the lobby. The clerk behind the glass was trying not to laugh. Ma'am, for the 10th time, this is a prank power ticket. It says so right on the back in the fine print. For entertainment purposes only, not a legal tender or valid for prize claim. Annie was shaking. No, look at the numbers. They match. It says 100 million. Yes, the clerk sighed. Every single one of those tickets says that. It's a gag gift. You can buy a pack of 20 on Amazon for $10. Annie's knees buckled. She hit the floor, the ticket fluttering away from her fingers. Brenda looked like she'd been struck by lightning. But Dylan didn't even help Annie up. He backed away toward the door. Annie, babe, Dylan stammered. I just remembered I have a meeting. I'll call you. Dylan. Annie reached for him, her voice a pathetic wail. He didn't look back. He ran out the door and right into me. Hey, best friend, I said, blocking his path. Dylan turned pale. Liam, man, I was coming to find you. Annie's gone crazy, man. She tried to frame me. I was always on your side. I looked at the man who had slept with my wife in my own bed. I have the hallway camera footage, Dylan. I have the audio of you telling her the baby might be yours. Dylan's jaw dropped. Liam, wait, Mr. Peterson.